As we all know, Jontay Porter got caught in the middle of a major NBA betting scandal, but we finally know what the repercussions are going to be from Adam Silver if it's found out to be true. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody, to Amateur Sports 2, the second channel in the Amateur Hour Production Network for additional Toronto Raptors content in videos just like this. If you enjoy what you see from today's video, then make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe to keep up to date with all the content that we have coming your way. But yes, things appearing to be getting a little bit worse here for Jontay Porter. Hasn't played at all with the Raptors since these betting allegations came out that he was manipulating some action and he was manipulating his play time with injuries and illnesses, and all in the line of sports betting. There were some unders that were bet on for Jontay Porter in 2 games where he left the game after 3 or 4 minutes, one of which with an illness, one of which with an eye injury. And DraftKings reported that the biggest winning player props of the day were of those of Jontay Porter on the under, which raised some questions, and now a full-fledged investigation is going into it. And we all know it does not look very good for Jontay Porter, and I would be absolutely floored if he ended up getting a new contract with the Raptors for next season. As it is right now, he's on a 2-way contract with the Raptors, and it is going to expire at the end of the season. I do not see any reason to try and bring the player back once again. But these were all allegations. They certainly do not look good. But at the end of the day, these are all allegations against Jontay Porter. There is no confirmation as to whether or not these allegations are true for the player. So, we don't know exactly what's going to happen in this situation. But if it is found out to be true, and Jontay Porter did have involvement in this major NBA betting scandal, Adam Silver has said that Jontay Porter could get an NBA banishment from the league. I feel like ban and banishment they're the exact same word, but banishment feels so much worse. But yeah, it could very much seem as though that the center has played his final game in the NBA, and he could be banished if the league investigation finds that he was involved in gambling. Now, something's a bit wrong with this one here. Yeah, Adam Silver says that this is basically the cardinal sin. This ruins the integrity of the sport. Absolutely, the NBA should be cracking down on it. And I wholeheartedly agree. What's confusing to me is the surprise. Like, Legion Hoops puts up, Adam Silver says that Jontay Porter could be banned from the NBA after a betting scandal. Whoa. He might get banned from the NBA if he's found to be involved in a betting scandal, let alone, not just any betting scandal, like betting against himself. This is manipulating his team negatively. This isn't, Pete Rose betting on your team to succeed. This is manipulating your own team negatively for the sake of profiting on sports bets, which is unconfirmed whether or not he was even able to profit in any way whatsoever from the sports betting side of things. And it's like, whoa, he might get banned from the league? What did you expect? Like, is this really news? I think, Adam Silver obviously has to come out and say something about this, but is this really surprising news? If an NBA player, threatens the integrity of the game by being involved with betting against himself on player props and negatively impacts his team as a result, if that's found out to be true, whoa, he might get banned from the NBA. No shit. If this is found out to be true, Jontay Porter is never touching an NBA court again. Never touching an NBA court again. Not to mention the fact that Porter was probably barely hanging on to an NBA contract in general. Now, he played decently well in his 2-way contract. I think he would have had an opportunity to sign somewhere in the offseason, at least get a training camp deal somewhere, and possibly earn a guaranteed contract for the upcoming season worth over $1 million. We can talk about the financial side of things and how perhaps ridiculous it was for him to involve himself in such a thing, allegedly. But yeah, this is a no-brainer. He's getting banned. And the fact that he's maybe on the fringe of being an NBA player at all would say to me that there's no way any team is going to sign this guy anyways. Even if he does beat the allegations and come back at some point, or if he's, suspended for a year, is any team going to try and get this player back? I'm just not so sure if that's the case. What will be interesting down the line if it does happen. So hopefully, this is really the first real case we've had of this, of a player negatively betting against themselves. Like, I don't even know, I can't recall a situation ever in the NBA where this has been the case, where, you know, a player has bet on the NBA specifically against themselves on player props. So this is really going to set the precedent here for how the league handles it. And yeah, Adam Silver, I think, should absolutely make an example of this case. This should try to deter any player from ever doing anything like this ever again. And for Porter, I don't know what financial or how much money he made off of this. You know, there was that screenshot that was circling around of a same game parlay where somebody went over $1 million. I've spoken to some sources in sports gambling who said that that's likely a real screenshot, but having that money in your DraftKings account is very different to having that in your bank account. Just because it's in your DraftKings account doesn't ever mean that money is going to see the light of day. So, you know, if it had been more discreet, maybe some money could have been made, but you know, we're talking about an NBA player here. And I get that his current contract is like $400,000, and maybe he could be making more of that on sports betting, but with the regulated industry the way it is, it seems like it would have been very difficult to catch. I don't think this is a situation where the one cockroach on the wall means that there's 100 behind the wall. This seems like a real anomaly situation here. And the NBA, yeah, listen, he's going to get banned if this is true. And they're going to crack down here and make an example of this because they do not want anything like this to ever happen again. Like David Stern said in the past, you're fucking with a corporation here, you know? Hurting the integrity of the game. Like, that is the absolute worst thing that could happen to the NBA. Players threatening the integrity of the game. So, yeah, if Jontay Porter is found to have been betting against himself, this is not news. This is not surprising. This is not, whoa, he's going to get banned. This is, yeah, what else could the NBA possibly do here? 1 year? I think there's a lot of NBA players who could, you know, handle a year away from the league and cash in on a sports bet. Banishment is the only answer. What will be interesting down the line is that if Jontay Porter's out of the league, like, the world moves on, you know? Nobody will really care. We'll forget about Jontay Porter in a few months' time. He's a forgettable player. What will be interesting is if down the line something like this were to happen, but with a notable player. Now, that's less likely because a notable player makes so much more money that it would be absolutely ridiculous to involve yourself in something like this. Like, you know, with Jontay Porter making $400K, which is still a ton of money, right? Like, that's a ton of money. That's way more than you or me probably make, right? So, you know, it's greedy for Jontay to go out of his way to try and make more off of that. But it'll just be interesting to see how this is handled if a notable player does get involved in some capacity. I don't know. Don't know why they would, but don't know why Porter would either. It would be interesting to see if, with a precedent set like this, where if Jontay Porter could be banned, if that then folds over to the other player. Because we've seen in the past that if you can help one of these billion-dollar operations win basketball games, you're in the league. So it'll be interesting to see how it's handled down the line if it's a more notable player. But as it stands, yeah, Porter, if it's real, if it's true, should be banned. My only gripe with this is that, well, I'll put it like this. There are some very severe crimes that NBA players have committed, and even have committed like a few of them in the last few years. It's a little bit annoying that this is treated with a ban, and rightfully so, but some other absolutely egregious crimes committed by NBA players in years past have not been met with any sort of suspension or banishment close to the level of Jontay Porter. So just some food for thought there. But what do you make of this Jontay Porter situation? Is there any option other than banishment if he is found to have been involved in this whole gambling scandal? Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. But that's all from me for today. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Check out my main channel, Amateur Sports. We're currently doing a Raptors jersey giveaway in one of the videos. So go find the video that has giveaway in the title. Check out the stream channel. This is the best streams, clips, and highlights from this channel here, Amateur Sports. Subscribe to this channel the one you're currently watching, and check out this video as well, which is on my main channel. I'll see you again, guys, next time for another video here on Amateur Sports 2.